Justice D. DeVille here on what I'm hoping will be the first segment of the DeVille Inside. Basically, what I want to do with this is have myself for this segment, and hopefully future segments, maybe even have some guests, and shoot with you. Basically, give it to you straight. Because there's some things that I want to discuss and get off my chest that I want my brothers and sisters in the wrestling community to know. First off, take a look at that. Anyone who thinks injuries aren't real, they are. This is why they train and train, watch video, review. This is from a shovel to the face, and this is actually looking better than what it was. I mean, this whole area was probably about slightly bigger. I mean, the mark on my nose was bigger. The mark on my cheek was bigger. It was swollen a little more. It's amazing what ice can do. That's one. Even this looks a lot better. This was bruised and red and all that and scratched up. This is where I took some repeated kicks in a recent match. Like I said, once again, amazing wonders of what ice will do when you're beaten and battered. See that little tiny mark right there? That's from repeated kicks to the head that made actual contact and, I mean, seriously, like what felt like it was probably going to be shoot kicks. In other words, nothing scripted. It's all real. Good thing. Hands up, protected, blah, blah, blah. That's the only thing that came out of this kick. So we'll address that along with the other bruises and batterings that I have. We'll address that later. I'm going to give you a brief breakdown, history, etc. Call it what you will, of what I go through daily. I work. I got a home life. I got my wife. I do the wrestling. Basically, so my time is limited on a lot of things and trying to fit everything in, including some training, gym, etc. Yeah, I stretch myself thin with time. Money, finances, well, let's see. Got bills to pay. Trying to do the wrestling. My funds are limited because my wife's income, she hasn't seen a raise in the 8 years that she's been working at her company because she works for a nonprofit and they don't do raises. My raises come annually and they're not much. I'm lucky if I get an extra freaking quarter per year. Let's see. The only good part is I'm getting a promotion recently, being moved up to a general manager and going to be managing another property for the company I work for. So that might be a little more money. So I'm working on a fixed income also. So I can't afford half these major schools out there. The ones I can afford, they're a distance, they're travel. Like I said, with limited time, it's tough. So I'll take what I can get where I can get. Whether it's watching videos, learning from other wrestlers or GTS, etc. So I'm very limited on that. Now let's break down the brief history, okay? Yes, high school, 2 summers worth of backyard wrestling, all try it at home, nobody professionally trained. So it was short-lived that back then. People were getting bones broken, serious injuries, boom. After 2 summers, it was done. Moving on, yeah, I was a daredevil kid basically growing up from my young years through my teens. Had my head cracked open 3 times from, let's see, once when I was a baby, smacked it on a freaking rocking chair at my aunt's house, and twice during grade school, had it cracked open. Let's see, so there's those injuries. 4th grade, got hit by a car, that screwed up my back. Let's see, going into my late teens, early 20s, had both of these wrists fractured. And the one I had fractured twice. This one I had fractured twice. One of them was work related. The other one was a whole different situation, which I don't want to get into. Let's see, what else is there that I can tell you? Oh, let's see. Let's move on. My whole 20 plus years in music, bands I was in, I always ended up being next to a heavy hitting drummer. Majority of that was next to one who liked to use cymbals a lot with everything. Heavy hitting. So my right ear, my ability to hear treble and all that is basically shot. Everything in this ear is all bass tones. It's all muffled. So if you're ever speaking to me from my right side, you definitely have to be clear with what you're saying. Otherwise, it just sounds like a bunch of muffled jibber jabber to me. My left ear, slightly better, because that was always away from everything, but always towards the speakers, which a lot better hearing than that. So if you're on my left side, you're most likely good as long as you're speaking clearly too, or at least at a volume where I can hear you. My right ear, yeah, you definitely going to have to be clear and near it. And it's part of the reasons why, I don't hear every call. I don't hear every call in the ring. I don't always, how do I say? Like some instructions, especially if you're far away, I'm not going to hear them too well. I'm going to make out a word or two. That's why I might ask again what was said, stuff like that. Or if you notice, sometimes I have that hesitation, and it's because I didn't hear what was going on. Sorry, many years of being a musician, and my bad, because 99% of the time I wasn't wearing hearing protection either, up on stage, and that's my own bad, because with the hearing protection, everything sounded muffled. So I didn't wear it so I could actually hear everything clearly, and well, look at what happened. So word of warning for the musicians out there: protected. It's just like anything else. Protect yourself. So that's basically it. I mean, between time, funds, everything I've been through. So, when I am there learning, I am watching and grasping, because I want to make sure I understand before I actually try to do it. The most other things I can tell you is, okay, my late teens to early 20s, I had some martial arts training. Not a whole lot. I did go to a competition after I earned my first belt, and I did win for what I was placed in. I did win first place in sparring, which I was shocked at, because I went up against a guy who was like 2 levels higher than me and beat him. And then, well, that was what put me in first place. But enough about that. I mean, so I have a little bit of martial arts training. I have some of the backyard hands-on training from back in high school. Everything else has been like ever since my daughter, you know her as Francesca Cini, ever since she met Tony Cini. That's what got me back into the wrestling, starting out introduced as her father. And since then, I've been learning the correct way to do things. It is taking me a little longer because of some of my impairments there. But you know what? I'm doing it. Like this, I took a few days ago. I'm going back. I'm going back for more. Love it. Who else would say that? Who in their right mind would say that, right? I want to go back for more. But that's it. I love it. I'm learning it. So, if I'm doing something wrong, tell me. I mean, this is why a lot of things for that ring, whether it's being cold in the ring, cold outside, pre-planned, whatever, etc. spots. I want to go through it, make sure everything is right, because when it's on the fly, though, you know what? Please, I ask, don't shoot on me, because half the time like I said, I'm not hearing what you're saying unless you are right there. So if anything, give me some kind of signal that would help me know what's coming, so that we can prepare, so that I'm prepared for it. I mean, it's supposed to be. Everybody knows by now it's scripted competition, but still competition. Treat it like a competition. You're gonna shoot. You're gonna shoot on me because I didn't hear you. That's a different story. Be prepared, because people who know me know, no matter what I know, what I don't know, you're shooting on me, I'm coming back at you. I'm coming at you full force, and I don't give a fuck if I die doing it. I'm taking somebody with me. So there's the warning there. One way or another, you're not coming out of this unscathed either. So now let me get on to the actual injuries and stuff. This happened with a match with Jimmy Controversy. I love the kid. You know what? Don't get me wrong. He's definitely got the heart and potential. But sometimes he borderlines that point where you're not sure if he's shooting or not. Like this, he was the one who threw a shovel, hit me in the face. I don't know if he was aiming for my face or not. I don't know if he gave a cue or not, because the distance we were, I didn't hear anything. I got hit. I mean, this is, well, you'll see it. It'll be on one of Grimm's channels there, where we're dressed as superheroes. But I took the shovel to the face. Didn't know what was going on. You know, yeah. I basically did not, at that mode, I was not in wrestling mode. I was in, I'm going to break this fucking kid's arm. So I grabbed him, and I did not grab him right way. I did not grab him in the way that you should in wrestling. I just went for that fucking hand, grabbed that arm, and I wrenched. And then, boom. I'm really sitting there thinking, I'm on camera. I don't know if it was an accident or not. I might as well ease up. Continue with the show. Be professional about it. Which I did. Then came the kicks. After letting him go, and he got up, kicks, boom, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Some other shots, this and that. Whatever. Played it off. Doing my job. After that, unsuited, boom, notice this. Yeah, so I definitely did take the shot. Good thing it wasn't a little higher, and I did try to get my hand up. So I had this hand up here, make sure it didn't go in my eye. And the other hand, I didn't get up in time to swat it down. And came too quick for me to even try and fully duck out of the way, so smack. But Jimmy, if you are watching this, listening to this, please, brother, I mean, it took you a while to come over and apologize, because I don't know if you actually knew what happened. But I do appreciate the apology, and, you know, hopefully you were not shooting on me. I'm going to actually trust you on that you weren't shooting on me. But if you were, watch yourself. Because ask Francesca, my daughter, her real name's Katrina, or Kat. I'm sure it's been said in videos before, so cat's out of the bag, pun intended. She'll tell you what I'm like. She'll tell you what I am like, because her stepfather, I had issues with him too. And me and him used to be like this at one point. He started his shit. It got physical. Let's just say I'm not one who will take that shoot lightly, if it is a shoot. Like, She knows I will come at you, beaten, battered, bruised. I will find a way of coming back at you, even if I have to fucking crawl. So, best bet. If you're shooting on me, I'm coming for you. But hopefully, I'm going to trust you and say that it wasn't. I'm going to accept your apology and we'll move on. Hopefully, I believe it was an accident, and if you did cue me, I didn't hear you, and wearing all that shit, it's hard to really fully grasp everything that's going on, because not that it's an impairment, because I love the costume stuff too. I love doing the costume stuff. It adds to the whole dynamics of the whole freaking everything that GTS has going on and all the channels. But a couple of other wrestlers I was talking to, yeah, you get little impairments from the suits too. Sometimes you can't always hear from them. Sometimes you can't always see everything. And if you are at that distance, it does make it a little harder to hear any cues, etc. Blah blah blah. But whatever, as long as it look great on camera, who gives a shit, right? You move on, you go on to the next day. But so I'm done addressing that. And now I want to address the fans. I thank you for your support, especially the title run pushes. Sorry, but I'm not in the running for the GTS title. I'm not in running for YouTube, etc. Those things you got to earn through the work you do. I appreciate that support, and eventually one day I might get the push, but you know what? It's not going to happen yet. At least I don't believe it's going to happen yet, because I know I still have work to do. But on the plus side, if you watch the superhero thing, in a way, I kind of do have a championship. I got the superhero championship from that. First one. So there's a plus. First superhero championship on GTS. Deadpool. I love playing the Deadpool part. That was great. I'm going to have to rewatch the movies, get some more of his lines, though. But I appreciate the support for that. But like I said, that comes through earning it. And you earn it through the work you put in. Day will come. With my promotion here at work, I am going to be more available for when GTS does tapings. So who knows? Sometimes they hold training seminars too, so I can get in training on those days. I can perform on the show, etc. Hopefully with that, I can put in the work a little more and get to that point a little faster. But thank you for the support, and hopefully one day I will get there. I will get beyond the superhero championship. Go Deadpool. I give the thumbs up,